Welcome back to another video, fellas. So, in usual style, you see the title down below. Let's dive right in. Man, today's gonna be a good one, man. I really wanted to talk about this. I went on a recent trip, met some great gentlemen who I call my brothers now, and shout out to one of them for giving me this quote, but it tailors into the title that you see, man. But he said, if she's more attractive than your lifestyle. I'm gonna repeat that again. If she's more attractive than your lifestyle, then that's a major issue, guys. That's a major issue. And the reason why I say that is because you guys have to understand, woman will always want the man that you're afraid to become. You know, you ever had those moments growing up as a kid, or at least I did, but maybe this is something that you probably know of, but as you're growing up, you know, and there's hierarchies going through high school, Mr. Popular, you know, the dude that every girl wants, all that shit, right? And let's say you're not the dude that every girl wants and all that stuff. Everyone's so focused on the dude and what's he about, and guess what that dude's thinking of? He's just thinking of, what can I do? He's being the best version of himself, and it looks effortless, while everyone else is just thinking, making comments, hating. He's not doing any of that, but y'all are. But it goes back to the point, man. It goes back to the point within this title. Who you're afraid to become is what women want. Like, you think of all these characters, man. You think of all these characters you see in movies. You know? You look at their lifestyle. You see the type of women that are gravitating towards that. That shit applies in life too, guys. That shit absolutely applies in life. And until you get to the point when you start taking ownership and start becoming the dude that you need to be, you'll always be in the background. You'll always be looking, wondering, when all you have to really do, guys, is really put in the work. But in this video, I'm gonna go over five things in terms of what goes on, what you need to do in order to be the dude that you're afraid of being. Now, real quick, guys, right before we dive into the video of today's topic, if you're someone right now who's looking to drop stubborn belly fat while also packing on 10 to 15 pounds of lean muscle without having to go to the gym 6 to 7 times a week and not giving up on your favorite meals, there'll be a link down below where you can book a call with me. On that call, we go over what I offer within my program, basically talking about the custom meal plan, the accountability, workout regimen that would be tailored specifically towards your work schedule. And from there, we can see if it makes sense for us to work together for the next months going forward. But definitely be sure to book that call, and let's get back to the video. So point number one that I want to mention in terms of you being afraid of the man you need to be is the harsh reality, guys. You think in terms of rejection is because she's just rejecting you flat out, which in case, yeah, pretty much so. But it's just, what do you exude? You know, what's your lifestyle like? You know, woman isn't just like, it isn't really like black and white, like, you know, maybe like a couple times maybe, but it's just like overall, like she's looking at your lifestyle. Women think in terms of future, like where is this heading? You know, women don't want to play games either. So it's just like, if your lifestyle is looking like it ain't going nowhere, like there's nothing to strive for, there's nothing, you know, in terms of like the woman will look at you and her and envision what are the possibilities, and if they're slim to none, that's what she's rejecting, fellas. You can say, oh, maybe it's the looks, all that stuff. Bullshit, bro. Like, what? Do you even step out of your own spot? Do you even step out of your own crib? If you can't even do that, and then you out here pondered in your room, quiet, alone in your thoughts, thinking that it's just looks, when overall you're not even doing anything in your life that shows attraction in that sense, and you expect some dime to just be willing to be with you in that, no chance in hell, bro. No chance in hell does she want to be a part of that. And that's what she's truly rejecting. Now, it's not just looks or just the clothes or the money. No, it's like, what is your lifestyle around you? What is your lifestyle? You know, do you step out? And I'm not saying you got to go to the bar, the clubs and all that shit and spend money that you probably don't even have. I'm more so saying just like, what is your lifestyle in terms of when you wake up to until you go to bed? You know, are you a disciplined man? You know, do you have a healthy regimen? You know, like, what do you do within that time frame that has sex appeal around it? You know, do you step out? What do you like to enjoy? Do you go to movies? Do you go, you know, like, what do you know anything about in your town? You know, do you enjoy any stuff you like to do in terms of just like spots you go to, nice lounges, any of that? You actually have to do that and actually cater that to your lifestyle, whatever goals you have, you know? You know, I think a common trap that a lot of men fall for is just being in this monk mode, but then not doing and working on anything else around that. And then coming time and being like, damn, but I still put women in a pedestal. I still feel like I can't get, because you're not showing any sense of attractiveness within your lifestyle. You just put yourself in the dark, and granted, you'll probably get more bread, you know, you'll probably, you know, have a great physique, but then what? Have you showcased that in any way that appeals to women? You know, and guys, they're like, oh, like, well, it doesn't have to be. Well, if it doesn't have to be, then all I ask for you is don't complain. That's all I ask, if that's the case. But it probably isn't the case because you clicked on this video. So that's point number one in terms of kind of like what women are really rejecting. That's just the harsh truth of it. If you don't got a lifestyle that caters around like your day-to-day isn't fucking exciting or fun, you know, like women are gonna look at that and be like, can I see myself in this man? Like, does his lifestyle like portray to what I want to be around? Do I want to be around that with him specifically? Minus the looks, minus the physique, minus the money, you know, minus the physique, money, all that. Do I want to be with this person and spend time with him? Does his lifestyle look fun? If the answer is no, she is definitely gonna 100% reject you, and that's probably most likely why. Point number two that I want to bring up within this topic is, I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. The person that she actually wants isn't the motherfucker who's saying I'll start Monday. The person who she actually wants isn't the version of you right now being inconsistent, day in, day out, talking about, I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and by the end of the week, you did nothing that you promised yourself you would do. The person that she wants isn't the motherfucker who's lazy, who's lazy and doesn't go after the things he truly wants. You know, guys, I'm all about getting your shit together and all that stuff, but it's just like, at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, what do you want to do in this world? What do you want? What do you want out of this lifestyle? What do you want out of this life? Because we only get one. What do you want out of this shit? You know, is there a skill that you know that can help a lot of people? Start a business on that. Do you wanna have the next best clothesline? Start a business on that. Whether it's you fully go in or maybe start it on the side, but eventually grow it, continue to grow it, because that's the one thing that you're gonna be truly passionate about. And that's what women want, bro. They want a man who's passionate about the things that he wants to do in this life. Best believe women would love to be a part of that. But if you don't have that going on, if you're just inconsistent and you're just doing the regular shit, you know what I mean? And again, nothing wrong with doing a 9 to 5, bro. Again, bro, I'm all about getting your shit together. But at the end of the day, I want everyone here on this channel to have their own freedom to do what they want and just help people around, more your families, all that. And in any way that you can level up and do that, that's what I'm all about. That's what I want. That's what I want for every motherfucker who watches my channel. And that's what women love too, man. They want someone who's chasing after a purpose, who has a structure, who will get shit done. That's what they fucking love. Point number 3 that I want to bring up in terms of this video is just kind of like where men usually go wrong, and it becomes to a point where it's just like, you know, everyone wants to be kings, everyone wants to have this aura about themselves, the shit that motherfuckers talk about today. But it's just like, your habits aren't exuding that. Your habits aren't congruent with what you're saying. You know, do you wake up early in the morning? Are you waking up at like 12 p.m.? Chilling, starting your day while everyone else waking up? Every worker already got up, doing their thing. They already had their coffee by then. Their lunch break is happening, and you're just waking up. And you're saying to yourself that you want to strive and be better. The habits that you're doing on a day-to-day are causing the problems within the life that you truly want. The life that you're not having right now. You know, the life that you truly want, you're holding yourself back with the habits that you do throughout the day. And that's what women pay attention to. You know, are you the dude who's disciplined, or are you the dude who craves instant gratifications? You know, one thing I remember back in the time, you know, this is when I was stepping out, I was in college, all that stuff, you know, so enjoying the fucking parties and whatnot. But there was always one thing I always kept in mind, bro. I was like, dog, if I see you, let alone myself, in a party every single time, bro, what's new or exciting about that? Seeing the same people at the same function. I know the people will go through that shit. I think we all have, but if you have, man, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're there almost every freaking time, what's new? How does that present like newness within stepping into that function, especially with like maybe the same chicks you see, or maybe a different chick that you see? You know, it's just like, you think you showing up to that function every single time is sexy or appealing? No, dude. There's nothing exciting about it. She's like, oh yeah, I knew this motherfucker was gonna be here. But you know, the ones who you know, it's funny, you know when how women are, man, and they get ready, you know, they want to look nice, as they should, and every man should too. Every time you step out, you gotta present yourself well, man. You should actually look classy, look clean. But you know how women are, man. They'll take hours in and all that. You know who the fuck they want to see in that fucking party, bro? The motherfucker who's disciplined. The motherfucker who's disciplined, who's probably 9 out of 10 times not gonna go to that shit. That's who they're getting ready for. But here's your ass getting all excited, dressed up, fucking showering, got your music bumping and shit, getting ready, putting all your jewelry, all that shit, showing up to this function for the 5th time this month. 5th time and shit. And then all of a sudden, bro, all of a sudden you did all, putting on all that work just to sit in the corner. Just sit in the corner with a cup in your hand, drinking whatever drink you got. And woman ain't paying you no mind. That's what it's like, guys. And that comes through the discipline that I'm talking about. Instead of being at that function, getting ready, fucking spending hours getting ready like a damn fucking woman. How about we actually have discipline enough to say no to that shit, work on the shit we truly love to do, make a side hustle out of it, or build yourself in any way that's pushing you forward. That's what you should focus on. Because best believe them women in them spots, them functions, all that shit, that's who they're paying attention to. So that's another thing I want to bring up in terms of this point, and being like your habits, you know what I mean? Like what you eat throughout the day, all that stuff. You know, but focusing it on you. Don't do it for the women. Just focus it on you, because that's gonna already put yourself in a better position as a man, especially with your body fat structure throughout the day, energy throughout the day, with the foods that you eat. And on top of that, not having to deal with a fucking hangover the next day. You can just get back on to, if you have a workout next morning, beating the competition, because that's your competition, guys. It's very slim to none. And if you can get past that shit in terms of not partying every day of the week and actually working on yourself, you know, that's the shit that the women pay attention to too, guys, you know. So that's where I see a lot of men go wrong. So point 4 that I want to mention is just kind of like, woman can't resist the man who is climbing up top, bro. They're attracted to the transformation with everything around. Guys, let me tell you, one part about going monk mode and all that stuff that I will say definitely like enhances within your life is just everything around your physique, your financial, and I truly solely believe every man should go through that, but not too long, not diving way too deep into that to a point where you're just taking yourself out of the equation when it comes to women or dating or any of that stuff. Nah, that's just fucking crazy. But there is a certain point where you should definitely work on yourself, and you got to realize that is going to be very attractive and sexy to women. But you can't do it just for that, guys. You know, women are addicted to the transformation. You know, when you work on yourself and clean yourself up, I'm talking being on point, grooming, you know, you got your diet cleaned up. So now it's just like your face is leaning, you know, you're cleaning up your pores, all that stuff, drinking plenty of water, which you should do. Guys, if you ain't drinking a gallon of water a day, start there, man. Just take out all the juices, sodas, have a diet soda for Christ's sake. The option is there for a reason, to fucking alleviate those cravings. But that's not the point. The point is, when you transform yourself into a completely different person, how you speak, how you present yourself, what spots you go to, that within itself is going to attract the woman that you want. Because if you put yourself in high quality rooms or high quality frequency, like if you're around that, you're going to get that in return. But the more you stay in these low quality spots doing the average shit, you're going to get average results. So that's another thing where I want to talk that I wanted to point out in terms of, you know, being the man that you're afraid of becoming. So I'll leave it with this last point here, guys. If you want that woman, you have to be the version of yourself that you're afraid of becoming. And that fear comes from not giving it 100%, guys. You're afraid of giving up the things that keep you comfortable. That's the honest truth. It really is that. That's the fear. So when you take into consideration your life, because again, I'm gonna continue saying this shit, we have one. So if we take that into consideration and understand, yo, if I really go all in on myself, being the best version of myself, then who I come out of that, the version I come out from doing all that effort work, that you can't be afraid of that. You have to be all in. And yes, it gets ugly. Maybe the people that you've been around have low-key been hating on you and holding you back from becoming that version of yourself. And maybe it's time to cut ties, cut bridges off that. Understand that it's gonna come with some sacrifices. It's gonna come with you not stepping out as often as you would like to. It's gonna come with switching up your diet and having the discipline to understand what you put in your damn fucking mouth. Look, there's a time for fucking cheat meal, all that shit, and you can work and still get lean. That's what I offer within my program. But guys, it can't be no fucking cheat meal every single damn time and wondering why we're not having the physique that we're after. You know, it's gonna come with sacrifices with maybe at family functions that you eat sort of different compared to them. You know, maybe it's gonna come time where you just can't step out with friends and have a drink at fucking 10 p.m. at night because you're working on your shit, working on your business after work. And then maybe some downtime, you watch some Netflix, you know? Maybe it comes with dropping, playing video games, staying late at night, you know, being unfocused and waking up in the morning with no plan, no structure, none of that. It comes with making those sacrifices of cutting shit off that you know are holding you back. That's what it comes with. But you guys gotta think bigger, because once you can do that, the other side, man, the other side, I promise you're not gonna regret. The other side of that, you're not gonna regret at all. But that's the main fear right there. The fear, because with those challenges, you're afraid of facing them head on, because you are so used to comfort that even the thought of it scares you to get rid of the things that you know you need to. So that's what it comes down to, guys. You have to pick a side. You have to pick a side. And which side are you going to be on? The one that stays the same, complains, stays up late at night playing video games that aren't contributing anything to your life, unless you're streaming, guys. Unless you're streaming and getting money, but even then, that's going to take a minute, which is cool, you know, being in it for the long game. But if you're not even streaming or doing any of that and not going towards like upping that, you know, upping that in terms of just making an income out of it, if you're not even doing that, you're simply just wasting your time, guys. You know, if you're afraid to just drop off junk foods and then you can actually have some clearer skin, lean, a lean physique. You don't got to be no damn bodybuilder, but just having a lean physique, you know, being able to take care of yourself and actually have a boost of energy rather than feeling sluggish throughout the day. If you're not willing to make those sacrifices like that for the better, in terms of the people around you, who you can help, your family, most importantly, if you can't even help your family, then I don't even know why you're even getting up in the morning you know. If you can't even make those sacrifices to do that, to 10x your life, then I don't know what to say to you. But that's the video for today, fellas. I hope you take those points and it helped you in any shape, way, or form. But just always remember, guys, it all starts with you. And if your life is less attractive than that woman you want, chances are there's a lot more work that you need to do within yourself. And you should probably start immediately, starting today. You should actually start working on the things that actually matter, that will attract that woman towards you. And start building the life that you truly want to live. It's very possible, guys, and I believe in you, so hop right into it, man. But that's all for today. Be sure, if you're new, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, you know, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.